It's Chaim here from Chaim's Corner, and today I'm going to show you an inside look at the Purim interactive notebook. This is for the younger years. So here we've got the front cover. I put it on top of a scrapbook. You can use a notebook, a scrapbook, whatever works best for you. Inside we have the Lashem Arazum Leah page. This notebook belongs to. The children can write their name on this line here. I've left a empty space. If I will have a chance to make a calendar, I would put it here. So we'll see if I am able to get around to that. Be'ezras Hashem. Okay, here we go. World ruler. So this is Achashverosh was the king over the mighty Persian Empire and ruled over, and they could fill out 127 lands. So that blank space there. And what I did for the map area, I just put glue and salt, give it a little terrain. You could try to color the salt if you'd like, make it more fun. That's what I have for the World Ruler page. The Royal Feast. Again, we have some fill-ins over here that you can help your students out. Achashverosh threw a 180-day feast to celebrate his position, followed by a 7-day feast for the city of Shushan. So here is a paper fastener. I laminated the bottle of wine. It's on a separate sheet that you cut out. And here it pours. And in here they could write no or don't go, whatever you would have them fill out for what Mordechai would say to the Yidden about this wonderful party. Royal mess. A terrible rash broke out all over Vashti's body, and she even sprouted a tail. She refused to come before Achashverosh and was executed. So here we have that mirror that she's looking into, Vashti, and then you turn it, and there you see her face doesn't look as pretty anymore. So again, that's a paper fastener, and I laminated this part. You could do lamination, cardstock, whatever works for you. New queen. So the king ordered a search throughout the kingdom for a beautiful girl whom he would choose as his new wife. Esther was chosen. And here we have, hello, my name is Esther. And if you flip it, it says Hadassah. Nice teaching moment there. And of course, we have the king's scepter. Mordechai overheard Bigsan and Seresh and their plot. So these are cut out from a different sheet of paper and pasted in the right spots, which are indicated on the main page. You'll see a little grayed out area where the students can cut out and paste in the right spot for the failed plot. Here again, we have that little bubble for Mordechai. They could fill no way, bowing down to Haman. And we have this little menchie, paper fastener as well. Okay, we have the poor, the lottery that Haman threw. So that's a little cube coming up from his hand and landing on the 13th day of Adar to carry out his evil plan. The request. So this is where Mordechai gathered the Yidden, the children that is, to daven for Esther, and specifically a lot of the children. So this is going to be on the page, and you could cut out a picture of your student, and they can glue it over this area. So it could work for boys and girls, this image. The feast number 1. So by this feast, Esther, of course, invited them to a second feast. So they would cut this out from a different sheet of paper, and there's a place indicated where they should glue it down on that hand there. Here we have Haman was so angry that Mordechai did not bow down to him. So his paper fastener, you build this little wooden gallows here. Now, of course, you have to decide for your children if you actually want to put string or not. I did on mine, but I will let you decide for yours. And then that folds back. So they could have that fun little activity there. Sleepless. Of course, Achashverosh could not sleep, so they read from the book of Royal Chronicles, the story of Mordechai, and here it says reward, question mark, and let them color in which one. Did Mordechai get a reward or not? One of the fun pages that I like. The reward. So we have Mordechai on the horse, Haman leading him, and of course the garbage being thrown down on Haman. Now, I know it wasn't necessarily actual garbage, but for the purposes of this notebook, I did the garbage image. We have the feast number 2, where Esther pointed out that it was Haman who was plotting to kill the Jewish people. So you can even act out the story with the kids, because these are Velcroed. As you can see, little Velcro pieces. So Achashverosh leaves. Haman tries to beg for his life. Achashverosh comes back, so they could play around with that little part of the story there. Okay, Haman is gotten rid of, and the king gives Mordechai his signet ring to make a new decree that the Yidden could defend themselves. So in this area, I actually melted wax on the signet area. If you don't want to do melting wax in your classroom, you could do painting or something of that sort for the stamping area. Okay, the battle. So the Yidden fought throughout the Persian Empire. They defended themselves, and in Shushan among the dead were Haman's 10 sons. They could on 10, and they have to find which Persian is hiding. So you could put this little menshi under any of the squares that they want. Fun little game that they can have. In Shushan, which was a walled city, they continued fighting on the 14th of Adar and rested on the 15th. So here we have running out of the city, or just running scared. Another fun little one there. Okay, Chag Purim, Mordechai and Esther established a Yom Tif, a holiday to commemorate these miraculous events. So I've done a really large Megillah. You could do feather and black paint, or they could just paint it in the Vayhi b'mei Achashverosh, like it's written in a Megillah. Here we have the 4 mitzvahs of Purim, all written out on here on the wheel, and when you spin around, there are also images inside there. We have the drowning out Haman page, so I think I'm actually going to change this from this version to make this dotted line so they could trace the different Hamantashen, and here just felt on the bottom of the shoe just to make it a little more fun. And we have the dresser page. Again, you use an image of your student, place their picture here, and these are cutouts from a different page that they could turn themselves into a fun clown. For this one though, the hair, you just want to make sure that you glue down the hair first and then put the face on top. Because that's how this one works. And then we have drink up. We drink on Purim, so we don't know the difference between Haman and Mordechai. So we have our little cup that says, yay, Mordechai, and boo for Haman. And then on the end, we end up with a Hamantashen recipe that they could do with their family. And that is the Purim Interactive Notebook.